All right, my friends, we did it. Welcome to episode 300 of Prof and Dev Play Games. My name is Larry, the professor at Prof Plays Games on Twitter, and over there is Anthony, the dev at Summer Speak. Let's talk for an hour about episode 300 and the number 300.
And the number 300. It is after the number 299 and before the number 301.
That's the stunning insight people tune in
for.
I
mean, that's what I got my computer science degree to know. Like,
did you know it's an even number?
Oh, see? New information even now.
Yep.
Divisible by 3? Yeah.
It is. It's great.
Yeah.
We've come a long way from, let's see here. I pulled it up. First episode was Wednesday. I recorded it Wednesday, October 7th, 2015. And it was uploaded October 8th. And it was called Getting Started. In this episode, Professor Plays Games talks about Havoc, Far Cry, Primal, Dragon Age Inquisition, and Cinnamon. He likes list-based semicolons. What the fuck? What the fuck? That's a weird way to start. I'm glad you're all still here, but Jesus, that was weird. Your first episode, I believe, was episode 13.
Yeah, I looked earlier, and it was, what was I on there for? I think I was on there to talk...
Game of the Year. Episode 12.
Yep, there it is. Game of the Year.
This extra long episode, Professor Plays Games talks with Anthony from Owl Dragon Games.
Oh, Owl Dragon.
About their favorite games of 2015, the recent Kojima news, and their gaming predictions for 2016. Yep. All right. Come a long way. OwlDragon.com does not go anywhere anymore.
No, that has been... is long gone. It's funny doing this podcast. I've gone through, started it was at Owl Dragon, and then I was at Blue Wizard doing Space Tyrant.
Right.
And then Ghostly Bear, my friend Carl, trying that whole thing, and now at System Era.
Couple of places, but happy.
Couple of places.
You seem to have been happy the whole time.
Generally. I mean, I will be honest, the freelancing part of that, many years between PopCap and System Era, was great, but also terrifying. Put it that way.
Like walking a tightrope without a net kind of thing?
Yeah, pretty much. Freelancing is a very scary thing, I will say.
Right.
Yeah, the contracts ended. I guess I need to go do that job hunt again thing. Yeah, don't want to go back to that.
No, hopefully you won't have to.
But it was nice to have more secured employment there. I guess Ghostly Bear was employment too. That was where it ended.
Right.
But that was also known to be a thing of this will go on for X amount of time, and we'll either get a publisher and it will continue or it won't. So that was always a known that I might have to go job hunting again. And I hate job hunting. I'm gonna tell you that. Everyone out there, job hunting sucks.
Yeah.
I hate it.
It's hard to do all the interviews and put yourself out there and try to talk about yourself in another new way.
Yep. And a lot of times I feel like hunting for jobs and like applying for different things, people like read into your experience differently each time. Mm-hmm. So you kind of have to like, I always hate having to be like, no, I am not a like senior engineer. Because I've got plenty of those people like, oh, well, we don't have a position for this right now, but we're hiring for senior engineer, and we've seen that you've coded some game stuff before. I'm like, no, you do not want that. Like,
and you don't want that.
I don't want that. You don't want that. But be very optimistic on sometimes with HR and different recruiters and the whole thing.
Oh yeah. So they're trying to fit you into their openings.
Yeah. Yep, they are. And I appreciate that. Sometimes it's. Oh boy. Now I've derailed. Cool.
Yep. Sorry.
So yeah, no, that was. But yes, Owl Dragon back in. God, December 2015.
Yep.
And then I'm trying to think. I don't know. Was I on the next one? I don't think I was.
The next one that I saw was I was talking about Witcher as my game of the year.
Yeah, I think it was just you. And I think it was a write-up. That was an extra one you did. There I am. January 2nd.
Aha, right after the new year.
Yep.
And what was that one? After
A Resolute Team. And that was where we talked about Recore, Visceral Star Wars. Pour one out for that.
Oh my god.
Halo, Destiny, Final Fantasy 9 and 15, Legend of Zelda Wii U, Mass Effect. Already talking about Mass Effect.
There's some constants from this entire run. It's Mass Effect and the next one, Witcher 3.
Witcher 3.
Oh my gosh. Legend of Zelda Wii U is a weird way to write that. Did we not know? Oh, we didn't know then. That's right. That was before we even knew anything about Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, because I don't think at that time. I mean, I think that's just what we were calling it. I don't think we had a title.
And we didn't know about the Switch, and that it would be on that Switch, you know.
We just knew that there was a Zelda being made for the Wii U because they had shown a couple things. That was all.
Right.
I
think some of my favorite podcasts from the run were 6 weeks I was studying in Mexico and wasn't doing a podcast, and you were doing it.
When was that?
That was summer 2016.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember that. There was one on here, because I always remember it as our big Firewatch talk.
Oh, yeah.
And that's both of us being like, we don't like this.
No.
In the end.
Nope, not fans of it. Even though we both played it to completion. Still not.
I just didn't feel satisfied by it, I should say. That's what it comes down to. I actually had a good time playing through it.
The ending
the ending. They didn't put a satisfying ending on the game,
right.
Which I think that's a consistent we've talked about a lot during all these years. Endings to stories are very important, and can really color your views on the entire thing itself.
Yeah, you definitely got to stick the landing.
Yeah, because I see plenty of references to Game of Thrones.
Oh my gosh, my arc with Game of Thrones, this is the most amazing television show ever, too. This is complete fucking garbage.
I can't go back and watch it. I've thought about it. I'm like, I could go back and watch the first couple seasons. I just can't do it.
I haven't.
That last season has just destroyed me.
Yeah. Yep, I totally get it, man. I have not gone back. Even though, the last 2 seasons sucked. Honestly, I think it was the second episode of the last season, Night of the Seven Kingdoms, maybe, written by Brian Cogman, was I think my favorite episode of the whole series, even though it came out of the rest of that garbage. But it was because someone who cared about the series was writing it.
That's true. I remember that because it was quieter than all the others. It wasn't trying to rush through things. It was just character after character moment.
Right.
And it felt like the characters were written like the characters again.
Yep. They were written like the characters were, and it was like that Mass Effect 3 moment before the ending where you're just going around and saying goodbye to everybody. And that's really what it felt like.
Yep. Then they totally did a shit show of a finale.
Ugh. Oh. And then, man, when we started this, I didn't have a kid. I wasn't going to have a kid, and now I have a kid. 4-year-old.
You have a kid?
Yeah. Crazy.
Oh, that's so crazy.
Yeah, it's been a time, and she's super into our video games that we play together. Paper Mario still, and Zelda. Paper Mario and Wind Waker are the two.
And Wind Waker.
Yeah. Oh man.
Baby Link.
Baby Link. Yep. Baby Link goes everywhere with us and is in every story that we tell. Today was tell me a story about Baby Link's first haircut, and the barber was Slash from Guns N' Roses.
There you go.
It's great. So for episode 300, we're going to give away some game codes. I've got the first one here. It's for a game called Metro Exodus Enhanced Edition for Steam. And the code is J64PXPTZER07EC5. So that's Metro Exodus on Steam. Please enjoy. And then something I haven't mentioned before, because I didn't know if it was going to happen in a timely fashion. I was hoping it would happen for episode 300, and it did. I've got a recording booth. I've got a little studio in my garage that's this crazy story about how I got it, but it's a 4x4 booth for recording vocals and guitar. Totally set up for good acoustics, and I'm also in a place where I can be loud and animated, so I'm very excited about this new start to my podcasting work.
You need to send me pictures of the completed thing, because I want to see how it sits in your garage.
Oh yeah, I haven't sent that. I sent you just the pieces.
You sent the pieces where you didn't respond, but I correctly guessed that it was a recording booth.
You did, you got it.
Or a sweatbox.
Both. Well, today I installed the fan, the ventilation system, so it's less of a sweatbox. But boy, last night, every 5 minutes, just like get out for half an hour and do other work.
Yeah.
Another code here is for Secret Neighbor, PALWV 33G796Y356. That's Secret Neighbor on Steam as well. Enjoy. We wanted to celebrate and have some fun stuff to talk about. And I guess there's EA Play we could talk about. But really, the news this week was about one of our favorite developers, Blizzard at least. But the Activision Blizzard blowout news story that I think started in Bloomberg. But I mean, really, it started with the California Fair Labor and Housing, I think is what it's called.
Fair Employment. And Housing. FEH, yeah.
Thank you. Who basically has been investigating Activision Blizzard for 2 years and just came out with the most. I mean, they're suing Activision Blizzard for gender discrimination, pay discrimination, and just the details of what's happened at Activision Blizzard. Just the bro culture, the fucking sexual assault, really. And it's awful. I just don't even know what to say. But
it was truly atrocious. Like, this isn't like the stuff that is in that court document about like what happened, like this 2-year investigation when they found all this stuff. This isn't like your normal, like, as a nice quote, normal, but expected, like, bro culture kind of stuff of like, yeah, you got people making others uncomfortable and saying stuff like, there's some just awful things in there. Like, awful. I've been around things that I would call bro culture. It's not that. Stuff at Activision Blizzard was way worse.
And it's I don't know if I really want to go into all the details. You can find that in the different reports or the lawsuit, basically the court documents. But the response from Blizzard was, this isn't the Blizzard of today, for the most part. I'll paraphrase it to that, and you can add more to it in a moment. But then once that came out, the Blizzard leaders of the past, like Morheim and Metzen, at least those are two that I saw, came out and were just like, I'm shocked and disgusted and seemingly surprised when they were the leaders of Blizzard in the past. And I don't know what your take is on all these responses to them being so fucking shocked that this went on.
They shouldn't be, one. I'll be honest, not at all. I mean, I could see that they're potentially. I don't know when this stuff happened. Like the document is very specific; it doesn't say exactly timeframes on when things happened.
Right.
So one, they should have been aware of some of this. Yes, I assume some of it they may not have been aware of. That's possible, but even a little bit, And I can't really go into a lot of detail here because there are people I know that know a lot more about this, and I don't want to speak with them. I also don't want to burn any bridges, honestly, with people who aren't at Blizzard anymore, but experience some of this.
Yeah.
Who I personally know and actually probably have a lot of details on what those old executives and their transgressions. Right. So,
I've got a friend there.
So any of them talking about them saying like we didn't know, it's like, well, you also probably took part in some of it. So
that's the thing is, I have a friend who works there now, and I don't know what to say. Like I want to reach out and be like, are you okay? But like, yo, I don't know if you were part of this and perpetuating this. I just don't know. We're not that close of friends. We're acquaintances, and it's just like, I don't know. I just don't know. It's fucking gross, dude. Like to the point where, like when JL and Brack sent out his fucking message where he's like, I was talking to Bobby Kotick about the patron saint of my family, Gloria Steinem. It's like, I can't be racist because I have a black friend, kind of thing. And it's just like, what the fuck? Like,
such a weirdly worded email.
Dude, it's bizarre.
Like, it was written so strangely. So that was Brack's email.
But then did you see the one from the VP of, that's not finance, VP of something, what was her name? It was a woman.
I saw it, yeah.
Who was saying, none of this is fabricated. I've never experienced any of this. And it's like, oh, so you have J.L. and Brack write his email about, this is disgusting and I'm shocked and this is the Blizzard of the past. And then you send out a woman to say, this never happened here. Like,
yeah,
dude.
Because she's an executive, and I wouldn't be surprised if this never actually specifically happened to her.
I'm sure, yeah, she probably didn't have that experience, but that doesn't matter. Other people did.
Exactly, and that's what her email sounded like to me. Was going like, cool, you are so far removed from any of this, you have no clue.
It would have been better if you didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
It goes into showing just how much HR at Activision Blizzard and Blizzard both companies' sides of it had, like, one, was not there for the employees, and two, even if they might have wanted to be, were just given no power to be. So,
I mean, I don't know your experience with HR, but HR is not there to protect the employees. They're there to protect the business. That's it.
I will say, HR, like after PopCap was bought by EA, was way stricter with us.
Uh-huh.
We weren't allowed to do a lot of shit
that
flew when PopCap wasn't owned by EA.
Like, because the company's liable for it.
Yeah, like simple things that were just like, looking back, I'm like, yeah, that's probably not the best thing. Of like, we had a standing daily Cards Against Humanity thing.
Oh, yeah.
That people could just come by and just like draw like 10 cards and put down whatever card we want, and then whoever, I don't know, there was like a bunch of us that would then vote on who the winner would be, and that we'd put those take a picture, and then those would get put up on like a whiteboard.
Maybe not the best for work.
No, not the best for work, thinking back on it. I do still have my Cards Against Humanity card that I made, though, which was an answer card. Give me 1 second. I have it above my desk.
Ooh, the suspense. This is good. This is a good episode 300 thing. Reveal.
So we made a question card. Since the buyout, the only noticeable change at PopCap has been blank.
Oh, God.
And the one that won that was not horrible or anything. The answer was my soul.
Oh, Jesus.
It was really depressing. But I still have the question card. I put it above my desk here.
Nice. It's a nice memory. Yeah, that's maybe not the best thing to have at your...
No, that's the best thing. And I
running.
I'll be like, guys, take that down. It's like, you're right.
Yeah.
I know we went through, took out a bunch of the cards beforehand. The super racy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more tame, but we're like, no.
Yeah.
We're like, that makes sense.
Yep.
Then like other trivial things of having like magnetic word poetry things.
Mm-hmm. Just
normal word poetry, like nothing lewd, nothing strange. It's just like, oh, look at, there's words and you can make poetry on magnets on the fridge. Even what you consider normal, troubling words, someone will find a way. And they did.
Yeah, HR just doesn't want that headache for the business or for anybody.
And I do know that there were investigations into different things while I was there. I was never a part of them, but thank God I didn't have to deal with it. But I do know that there were some investigations that went on and whatnot for stupid things that happened that mostly outside of work. And you're like, God damn it, people. Yeah. And those people were kept employed. So
hopefully nothing to the level of what's happening here with Blizzard Activision.
Nothing like that.
Did you part of that response that Activision Blizzard had was, this is the reason why businesses are leaving California? because they're trying to hold people accountable for illegal shit.
That one, yeah. The responses out, especially the Activision Blizzard executive part of the companies, the joint companies that owns both the other companies, has basically been sickening overall. Like, I don't think any of those executives at that level have said anything good. Mostly just exactly what you said. This is why companies are leaving California, which is not true, really. Which I would respond to that and be like, sure, are you going to move Blizzard out of California? Go ahead. Figure it out.
We want to move to Texas because they don't care about sexual assault. Oh, that's a good look.
Yeah. But also, I'm like, we'll wreck your companies even more, because guess how many employees will not follow you on that?
Exactly. Like, we don't want to live in a red state where you can get away with sexual assault.
Yeah.
Man, we've been talking for fucking ever about Diablo 2 and having Resurrected coming. Yeah. Like, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying another fucking Blizzard game as long as Kotick is in charge of Activision Blizzard and Jalen Brack is the fucking president of Blizzard. I'm not. And I'm done. And until there's change from the top, I'm voting with my wallet. This shit is absolutely gross, and I can't support it.
I understand.
I won't. And that sucks because I've been dying to play that game, and I'm not. I can't. And I don't think they're going to leave. I don't think they're going to leave.
Yeah, I don't think Kotick is going to leave. I could see Brack leaving, potentially, depending on how this goes. And the thing is, I don't think any of this stuff is going to... I would say nothing more is going to happen on this, probably for a few years.
Yeah.
However long this is to go through the legal system.
Right.
But let's be honest, this is also America, so likely Activision Blizzard is just going to settle out of court.
That's exactly what's going to happen. I mean, because part of the lawsuit is like you're going to pay back wages, you're going to pay for what you didn't pay before. So if they do that, and then with the victims, you would settle out of court.
Yep, that's exactly what's going to happen, and settle in a way that makes it so all this stuff is locked away and no one can know any more about it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is, I think that, I just want to be very clear. I know there have been situations where people say, I'm going to vote for my wallet, I'm not going to buy this game, then they're all on fucking Steam playing that game first day. You will not see me play this fucking game. Buy any more Blizzard games until those two are gone. And I will just, every time there's a new release from that fucking company, I didn't buy it. I'll let you know.
Well, that's the thing, there's not going to be new releases that often.
True, so I don't have to hold my resolve very much, except for this game. Ugh. Oh well.
Yeah,
that's life.
That's the only one that I'm just like, fuck. Because I thought the same thing, and I'm like, I don't know. I really don't know. I understand voting with my wallet, but I also would like... I don't even know if there's other things to be done. I mean, the lawsuit's already been filed. That stuff's going through.
They can resign. That's it. That's what I want.
Yeah.
With our
Activision Blizzard stock start going off in board meetings.
I would have to buy a significant amount to get to that level.
Yeah. I'm very curious what the next investor call is going to be like, though.
I want to see, because this blew up last week. I actually haven't looked at the stock price of Activision because I don't own it, so I haven't really been following it.
Yep, ATVI. What have they been doing? It's down over 5 days. It didn't drop that much.
Yeah, over the last month, the high was 96 and the low was 89. So right now it's at 91. 9 days till earnings call. So yeah, it's going to be right in the midst of that.
Yeah, and I mean, the day this came out was Tuesday, I want to say.
Yeah.
And so the stock from Monday to Tuesday dropped a couple dollars from 91.40 to a low of 89.87, and then it's just kind of been fluctuating in that range. So nothing major has happened to the stock yet.
No. Ugh. And they're gonna report like record profits and shit.
Actually, I don't think they are.
You don't think so? Not with Warzone.
Actually, that's true. That side of things is probably fine. The Activision side. The Blizzard side is not well.
Oh no, no. All. And maybe that's part of it too. It's like Activision Blizzard's like, all right, like this report is focused mainly on Blizzard, right? Even though it's Activision Blizzard.
I think a lot of stuff has been reported in here on Blizzard, but the thing is, I haven't read the document.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's stuff here on the Activision side as well.
Okay.
But the absolutely truly awful stuff that happened, it's all Blizzard side.
Yep.
That I've seen. The stuff that is like boiled to the top that the Bloombergs and other sites are going to pick up and run with, because that's like the like eyes wide open, like holy shit things.
Truly vile and disgusting.
Usually vile stuff, and I feel like the document, at least bits and pieces I've seen, is just full of lots of, I would say, and I hate using the term normal but it is very normal in the tech industry, of women being underpaid, not getting advances in their career, all the just normal stuff that you're like, wow, you wonder why women don't join this industry at all. And tech, games, whatever. Games is just part of the tech industry. I'll just like.
I feel like even like justifying their place in terms of like, I like video games. Like, do you really? Like, versus like a guy, it's like, I like video games. Okay, cool. It's just like taken for granted that that's true.
Yeah, it's true. So, but I'm pretty sure there's just a bunch of that as well in this very long document that is across all Activision Blizzard kind of like studios and sides.
Right.
So, but I also feel like it is another punch to Blizzard, which was already seeing some backlash, we'll say, from their general like fan base in general was giving them pushback on like things, and then this hits and it's just like, yeah, you are in very, very negative PR now.
Yeah, your social
any fuck up you do now is gonna be like 5 times what it was before, and it's gonna take at minimum years to get yourself out of this.
Oh god.
And you better not fuck up the entire time, because if you make one fuck up, so that's why I feel like Brack is probably gone at some point here.
I think the same thing. There's no way that guy can shepherd it forward when he's got them here.
Yes.
Or been part of it, at least,
Yeah. And to speak to like the fan base stuff, there's just like WoW is shedding players like crazy at the moment, and it has been for the past month. It's basically become just like a watershed moment, and they're just losing their sustained income. It was already quite a bit smaller, and now they're just straight up losing it. Right. And so that's already happening on top of this now, all this stuff coming out. And it's making, I've seen stuff of like streamers saying, hey, we're not going to stream your games anymore.
Yep.
Just a general negative PR thing, like just going like, okay, we're abandoning the ship in these games. So yeah, I think Brack is probably gone in a year at most.
I hope it doesn't take that long for the people who are there still suffering. I do my Roth IRA through Fidelity, and it all the different stocks. Maybe yours does this too, but it measures social sentiment as well. And social sentiment on Activision Blizzard is extremely negative. I've never seen something that red. But the thing that's interesting, it gives a value of their stock, and right now we said it was 91 or whatever. It says it's undervalued, it's at 112, but it says Activision itself brings in 49% of the revenue. Blizzard's not even number 2. King is. King.
Oh, right, because they own King, right?
Yeah. Yep. King is 24.5%, and then Blizzard's 22.9%. So Blizzard, if it is contained with Blizzard, which it's not, like this stuff happens to varying degrees in different places, but it's probably happened in Activision as well, or it certainly is. To be that small of a slice, it's like basically a fifth of their income, but 100% of their headache. Like, heads are going to roll at that place, it seems like. I mean, I would like to think so, but I've seen this shit happen before where nothing happens.
Yeah. And that's where my cynical side comes in and go, yeah, nothing will happen.
Right.
But I kind of feel like being a public company, something's gonna happen. Just to even save face again with investors. So.
Well, there's no way. Like, I would imagine Brack's gone. Brack resigns. That letter, he's not resigning. And then the other executives are saying, this isn't happening. Like, I don't know how Activision Blizzard can come out and say, this isn't happening, and then someone resign, which would say it's happening.
The way it always works with PR. There's nothing wrong. It's not going to happen until it does.
Yeah, that's true.
And then, oh yeah, this was the plan all along. Like, so I feel like if there is going to be any kind of like heads rolling and stuff, it's just going to be sudden. They're gonna put the message out there of stability, and we're gonna figure this out, and we have full confidence in our entire leadership team. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Until behind the scenes comes out that they were working on how they were gonna push people out. So.
Right.
Yeah. It is. It sucks a lot. A lot. Like this came out. It really bugs me a lot that this exists. I mean, I've kind of heard that there was something brewing around Blizzard since the stuff at Riot broke a few years ago.
Right.
I can't remember where. It was people that I saw that were talking. They were being like, "Just wait until you hear about the Blizzard story." And I kind of forgotten about it, but clearly it was just took a while to brew.
Yeah, 2 years that's a long investigation.
It is a long investigation. I kind of wanted to go to court because I want to see the evidence. I want to see when this stuff happened, and I kind of want to see the people that caused the problems to just have to own up to it. But
yeah, I would love to see discovery, and it end up being these former leaders who've just come out and said that they're just shocked, and then they're the ones that enabled it.
Yeah.
Ugh. I think the positive thing, thinking of this in terms of timeline of our podcast, this is a big fucking deal. This is gross. People are looking at this and saying this cannot be. Think about Crunch, how Crunch has changed a little bit, at least in the industry. This is looked at and said this is not acceptable by, I feel like, more gamers, more people who are invested in the ecosystems than perhaps before. And I don't know if it's enough, but it feels like it's moving in the reaction, at least, is moving in a good direction, as opposed to, I feel like there was a lot more defense of companies when things like this, maybe not this heinous, came up in the past. And I feel like the response to this has generally been absolutely revulsion.
Yeah, I haven't seen anyone try to defend this. Of it just being oh, that's tech or whatnot. Everyone's just what the fuck? This is bad. Stop.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think I do feel you there. I feel like the reaction is more where I'd want it to be on that regard. So that's something, I guess.
I know it's barely anything, but it does, in terms of a 30,000-foot view of the length of our podcast, that seems some slightly minute positive direction.
Yeah. And I definitely am okay, we've now had Riot. In the past 2 years, we had Riot go through this.
Yep.
Not sued by California. That's the other insane part. Blizzard being sued by California. Riot wasn't sued by California. They just had a bunch of stuff come out, and you have Ubisoft and all the crap there.
Right.
So now you have Activision Blizzard. So now I'm just okay, when's this stuff gonna come out about? Because I feel they ran a tighter ship when it came to cracking down on that stuff.
Right.
I'm sure it's there. Maybe not at the level that California is going to sue them, but I feel like all these big giant game companies and tech companies, they're all the same when it comes to this. I hate to say it, but
no, to varying degrees, I agree.
And your Apple, it's all there.
Yep.
So why would these big giant game companies be any different? This is a very much a part of the tech landscape.
Right.
So.
Yep, I totally agree. Unfortunately.
It is unfortunate. I am very happy to work where I work, where we're all fuck this. And I don't think anything even remotely like this would be tolerated at System Era.
Yeah.
Like, you would be jettisoned to the curb immediately. Like, gather your crap, get out of the building. We don't want you here.
You're not doing cube crawls at System Era?
No, because we don't have cubes, but, you know.
And you're not there physically, I guess.
Yeah, not there physically, and actually we don't even typically even have alcohol at System Era. So,
probably a better
which is
idea.
good.
Yeah.
Probably a good idea for your place of work. When I was younger, I thought it was kind of cool that we could have, like, we have the hard liquor cabinet. Probably not what you want.
Whoa! I thought it was just beer. There was fucking hard alcohol?
Yeah.
Damn. That's a fucking bad idea.
We'd make mixed drinks on Fridays.
That's such a bad idea. PopCap, god damn it. I guess HR said no to that too.
There was no HR at that point.
Wait, PopCap before EA didn't have an HR?
Not really.
Jesus. I mean, that sounds like fun, but...
It was like 25, 30 people.
Oh my god.
And then when I started, I mean, HR was the same person that was manning the front desk. And the finance person dealt with getting your, like, payroll set up.
Wow, dude.
But
Holy
beyond
shit.
that, like, HR, what are you talking about?
Oh my god. Dang.
It's Wild West, man.
Sure was.
It was.
I mean, what was the original name of the company anyways? Like Sexy Games or...
Sexy Action Cool.
There we go.
It's from, God, was it a Desperado poster? So the founders, they just, like, needed a name, and one of them saw a poster for the Antonio Banderas movie Desperado, and it had, like, Sexy Action Cool as, like, single words on the poster, and so that's what they chose the name of the company.
God damn it.
There wasn't a lot of thought put into that. There was a lot of thought put into PopCap, though.
Yeah.
When they decided to go, we better use a different name.
Let's get something else going on. Speaking of something else going on, I got a code here for Dirt 5 for Steam. It is 7QTFV that's an 8. T84AE EPJPQ. Dirt 5. Enjoy. Oh god, crazy shit.
It is crazy shit. So yes, hard alcohol existed. I had some mixed drinks at PopCap on Fridays afternoons, and yes, there was plenty of beer and wine. But that's also the thing. I'm like, I'm trying to think back because people were like, "Oh, I'm like, did I miss anything going on at this?" And I'm like, no, because we'd all just drink and play board games or play video games.
Yeah.
Usually just sit down at our computer, all go back and sit at our computers drinking and playing like Counter-Strike.
That does sound pretty cool.
That was our fun times. Or Dota. Original Dota.
Yeah.
Did that much. I don't know. So I'm just like, Eventually we got an HR before EA, but we were quite a bit bigger before. It was like, we actually need someone to manage this and like keep people more in check.
Yeah. Check our base impulses. Although maybe there weren't that many.
Oh, no, because we also had our, like, the Burrito, our chat program, which had the heavy petting zoo.
Oh my god.
That was the off-topic channel. Zoo, heavy petting.
Jesus.
So, yeah. I mean, I've been through this to a point, and I feel like I've grown and I'm a much better person at this point where I'm like, I would look at that stuff now and be like, probably not cool to do that.
Yeah, and I feel
21, like 3-year-old, 22-year-old was like, sure, why not? We're doing this. I'm making games.
Yep. Living the dream.
Yeah.
I feel lucky, and maybe you feel the same way. Like I've done some stupid shit along the way that I look back on now and I'm like, that's embarrassing. But I was at such a low level that you're able to look at it and learn from it. I didn't hurt people. I didn't make people feel uncomfortable. I just did stupid shit. And I wouldn't do that stupid shit now. But some people early on do stupid shit that they can't recover from, or people get really hurt by it.
Yes.
And I just feel lucky that wasn't me. Although it fucking could have been. I don't know. I was a fucking dumb kid, man.
Yeah. Same. We're all young and stupid.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure in 10 years I'll look back now and be like, I was much younger and stupider.
I'll be like, what? How did I buy that? I bought that booth? What a dumb idea.
God damn it, why did you do that? Why do I have this booth sitting here I never used?
I asphyxiated in that booth. Oh, God. Yeah, I don't... Anything else about this fucking gross story? Okay, cool.
No.
Let's move the fuck on. Happy 300. What have you been playing?
So, Final Fantasy XIV some, which I can get to in a second. But this was also the start. I almost sent you a picture of it that was saying, back on my bullshit. Start of the Path of Exile League.
Oh my god.
It came out Friday?
Mm-hmm.
And I played basically I played it Friday night, and I played some Saturday. This was a big league change because they were like, Grinding Gear Games came out a couple weeks ago and was like announcing the patch and going, we are going to rebalance the game completely.
Oh.
We feel like players have too much power. It's limiting our design space. So one of the changes, enemies are generally going to have more health and players cannot get nearly as much boost on total damage that they can do. Therefore, making things just take a bit longer. Okay.
Does that make it bullet spongy, kind of, quote unquote? Or
yeah, I will say some bosses feel pretty bullet spongy, and actually some non-bosses feel like rare monsters and stuff can feel pretty like, God, this is taking forever.
That's kind of a boring way to fix that, it seems like.
A little bit. They wanted to change flasks, which they have a flask system in their game. You played it some.
Yeah,
like
I've
they
seen
have
that.
flasks, and there's lots of unique flasks. And people have gotten used to what they call the basically piano keys your flask at high level. You just constantly just roll your fingers from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just over and over again on like a cadence of every like 2 seconds.
Right.
Because you just want to keep your flasks up constantly because they're giving you not health and mana. Because usually by late game you're powerful enough, you drop all your mana and health pots, and the potions are actually specifically making you immune to different like status effects, or so you want to keep those up so you constantly stay immune. So they completely changed the way flasks work, and going, all the immunity stuff is not gone. It's like, let's say you get affected with bleed. Before the flask, you could have a flask that was like, while this effect is active, it will remove bleed, but make you immune to bleed as well for the duration. Now it's changed to, if you use it and you're not bleeding, it will not make you immune. The only way it makes you immune is if you use it when you are bleeding, that status.
Okay. Right.
And it lasts for like only a second of immunity as opposed to like 6 seconds before.
Well, that's a big change.
It's a huge change, and you're watching all these hardcore players just dying now.
Oh, fuck. Oh, no.
Because
they lost their character they've been working on forever.
They can't be immune. Well, they restart on each league.
Oh, okay, right.
But still, you're just like, oh my god, like they get hit with like there's poison or bleed and these other things, and it's just like, welp, I'm dead now. Cool, I can't not die.
So are people like rioting right now?
What was that?
Are people pissed off at the death?
Yeah, there's a fair amount of people that are just like, hey, we get what you're trying to change here and fix, but this is not a way that's making your community happy about this.
Right.
I think even if it was just like the damage changes, that'd be fine. Like, sure, the game takes a little bit longer, and it's really that they've kind of done changes so that the damage at the top end, like very late game, is where most of that occurred. And I think people would generally be fine. It's these flash changes, and then they change like mobility skills, so there are different types of dashes in the game, because people basically only used, there's 2 of maybe like 5 or 6 that existed. So like, oh, we're gonna rebalance them. Well, the way they rebalanced them was just instead of like bringing the ones that sucked up, they just brought all of them down to where the other ones were, and
so
now it's
suck.
Like, kind of. You're just like, God, this is. I don't like the feel of this. Really, it's very slow compared to what it was before. And I don't like it. I played through almost the entire campaign. And I was like, I don't want to keep playing. I don't like this.
Oh, dang.
I've gone up to around level 65, 70, and it was just like, I just don't like how this feels. Please do something else, I guess. So, I don't know. I mean, I commend them for trying to shake things up and figure out, because they were like, we want to try to get stuff more in line and keep builds in general all more in line so people can feel they have more options on what they can try. But doing that, they just made the game feel kind of like a wet towel in a lot of ways.
Took away some of what was special about it, or what
felt
comfortable.
Really separated it. And this patch was cool because they added like 2 very Diablo 2 skills to it. They added effectively a frozen orb, which looks badass. So you're like, it's frozen orb. And then they added their take on Blessed Hammer, the Hammerden spinning.
Yeah. Right.
Like this patch was like, okay, you're totally hitting the Diablo 2 crowd. It's just like missed. They added gambling in it too. They added their own Guide, basically.
Oh shit. Okay.
Which is really cool. But yeah, I don't think this is going over well. Like, usually they put it out and then they don't really say anything on the weekends. So I'm expecting Monday or Tuesday they're going to probably put out some big news post, blog post talking about the changes and where they're going to go from here. Because it's pretty clear that the community is not happy, and the people that are like their bread and butter on like promoting the game are not happy about these changes. They like So, and I don't think they're unhappy of all changes, but they're very specific. Like, these are people that have tens of thousands of hours in this game,
right?
And they're like, they can very precisely pick out all the change and be like, this one feels bad, this feels bad, this feels fine. Like, and I've watched videos on that stuff and like these people, and I've seen some streams where they're talking about it, and just like, yeah, you should listen to these people, because they're the ones promoting your game to lots of other people, and they're not wrong. So I don't know. It's crazy though. So I played that for a day, and then I just went back to Final Fantasy XIV, and have continued to progress my way through that main story, doing different dungeons. And I don't want to spoil any of it because it's really good. God.
So what everyone says about the story being amazing is bearing out, basically.
Yeah, it's bearing out very well. And I think part of it is the fact that you have the time to spend with the characters and the stories. Like, the stories can breathe more than anything. They're not contained. They're like, yeah, this total story, probably till the end of the current expansion, Shadowbringers, it's like 250 hours of gameplay. But I wouldn't say it feels padded. It's just like, yeah, we can let our stories breathe and let our characters take their time and spend time on developing all these different side characters. And so that when stuff happens to them, it's meaningful to you. You know who that character is, and you know things are important. And so it's kind of crazy to think that the expansion coming out in November, Endwalker, is the end of this storyline. 10 years they've been working on this. So
God, it's been that long?
Yeah. By that comes out, it would be like a 10-year storyline. Because is that when? No. Maybe 10 years of development, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because I think that's, I don't know exactly.
I thought Realm Reborn was like 2014 or something.
A Realm Reborn was then. I don't know when but the thing is, A Realm Reborn is really built off the story of the first as well.
Oh, okay. So it is a continuation.
It is a continuation. Like, they've contextualized and canonized Final Fantasy XIV 1.0, because A Realm Reborn is 2.0. And there's a reason why it's called A Realm Reborn. Like, that's actually like, we're not just gonna throw out the old and not put a story to why things are different now.
Right.
And it's actually pretty cool. Like, I appreciate that they did that, and it's kind of like intertwined with all the story threads on like why the realm was reborn and what that means. But it's a cool game. It's a cool MMO, and when we're talking about Activision Blizzard stuff, there are so many people from WoW just coming to this thing constantly now. So many new players.
It's like the dam has burst. People know how good it is and how not great WoW is at the moment.
Yeah, basically, which is sad about WoW. But it's true. It's like, I feel like it's burst in the fact that people are like, hey, there's other quality MMOs out there. There's this other really good one that's been around for a while. Should go give that a try. Which isn't too divergent from WoW in its gameplay, but enough to be very different.
Right.
It's still MMO combat, like tap target things, press your abilities, rinse repeat. So I don't know. It's cool though. I'm very happy with it. I'm happy I'm going through it. And then I hear people talking about not Heavensward but Shadowbringers. There's a couple people at work that are like, that's like the best Final Fantasy story ever. They're like,
Jesus,
not MMO Final Fantasy. They're like the best Final Fantasy story ever.
That's a pretty high bar.
It is a high bar. I'm like, okay. And I will say, from doing all this MMO stuff and being in Final Fantasy land, I've been like, I could play Final Fantasy 12 again.
Oh my god, for like the third, fourth time?
Fourth time.
Jesus.
I just love that game so much.
It's appropriate for our 300th episode because you've talked about that game many times over the years.
Yeah. But other reason why I was thinking of 12 is, did you see this week they found, I think it was this week, they found a new chapter of the Epic of Gilgamesh?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, they found a stone tablet.
Oh shit.
That had a new chapter from ancient Mesopotamia.
That's the slowest Patreon ever. That's cool.
So, and Gilgamesh is in Final Fantasy. They've in for a long time, and I remember in 12 I actually fought Gilgamesh a bunch, like badass fight, like multiple fights, and it was really badass. And so I was like, oh, now let me watch a Gilgamesh fight in Final Fantasy 12. Now I want to play Final Fantasy 12. Shit. But yeah, it's been good, and I still don't feel like I can escape Final Fantasy right now. I just feel like I'm in its orbit because I was watching the opening ceremony to the Olympics.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And what do you hear as the first athletes enter the stage? Final Fantasy victory fanfare.
Oh damn, that's awesome.
And then you look at I was like, because I only saw a brief of the opening ceremonies, and then I googled online. I was like, what music was in the opening ceremonies when the athletes are coming? It was a ton of video game music. Like, they did...
Makes sense for Japan.
The victory fanfare from Final Fantasy and the main Final Fantasy theme. They did some Dragon Quest in there. They did some Monster Hunter. They did some Sonic. I would have thought some Zelda or whatnot, but maybe Nintendo wouldn't let them.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, it does to me. There's no Mario or Zelda in there. Chrono Trigger was in there, though. They did Frog and Robo's theme.
What? Chrono Trigger, Jesus.
I know.
Awesome.
I was like, what the hell? This is the nerdiest opening music ever. I love it.
I don't want to say it's a deep cut, but that's not something that most people, I think, outside of Japan, I don't know.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem like on the same level as Final Fantasy.
No. So, I mean, there was a Nier track in there as well. Like, I don't know. I want to watch more of it because I just want to see if I can hear the music in the background. So I just feel like I'm in the orbit of Final Fantasy right now. So,
which sounds like it's bringing you a lot of joy. So
yeah, so I can ignore the fact that I probably won't get Diablo 2, which makes me sad.
Well, if Path of Exile can fix their shit and put more Diablo 2 skills in there, might scratch the itch.
It might. The thing with Path of
Yeah,
Exile,
probably.
Diablo 2, is the Path of Exile, no matter what, even when it's in its slowed down form, is way the fuck faster than Diablo 2. Like,
Yeah.
Diablo 2 is an actually slow action RPG, which is fine. And
It is.
I like
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
Most action
It is very methodical.
that have come out since it have tried to go faster and faster and faster. Where I'm like, no, you can actually, as you said, be methodical in Diablo 2 some. So, I don't know. No one's really captured that exact timing that they did, which is fine. But man, yeah, I think that's all I've been playing. Yeah, that's everything.
It's good stuff. Yeah, I think September 23rd, when that rolls around, maybe I'll jump into Path of Exile again, and that'll be my non-Diablo 2 gaming. I don't know. I've simply been playing with my family on the Switch. Haven't played anything else. Been obviously playing Origami King, continuing that with my daughter. We've gotten to the Diamond City, the underwater, tribute to the Legend of Zelda, basically. There's 3 temples, and you have to go with Mario and get the final power, which is like the ice power. And then you have to go conquer 3 trials at 3 different temples: the Temple of Wisdom, Temple of Courage, and Temple of Power. And you get orbs when you complete that, and you put the orbs into some sort of receptacle, and then it opens up a door. Reminds me of, obviously, Wind Waker with the orbs, but also, the Triforce call out there, of course. But it's a very Zelda-ish kind of motif there. My daughter's enjoying that, and then I had a gaming night with my wife, and we played some, I can never remember the name of it, but it's the new Mario Golf game, like Mario Golf Super Rush or something like that.
Yeah.
And we had a great time. It's very simple. It's just one button you can play if you want, and we had a great time. So just been playing a lot of Nintendo games. Mario, and more Mario.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I'm enjoying the Switch a lot right now, because all of my gaming right now is social. It's either with my family and it's on the Switch, or it's Rocket League with friends on Thursday night, and it's just been a blessing. It's been nice during this pandemic to have these games to just connect with people.
Yeah.
But I haven't really done any solo gaming. I haven't played Mass Effect in the last month, I realized, and I thought, wow, I can't believe it. I've just been so buried in work, but also making music, that I have not hooked it up and kept playing, which is sad. I need to get back to it.
But no, we only have limited time in the days, so I understand when other things boil to the surface that you're like, I have these other hobbies I like doing as well, and I can't game and do these other hobbies at the same time. So
yeah, especially right now, it's very much, I have 2 hours at night after my daughter goes to bed, and I'm 2 hours a day to do my hobby. Right now it's music. I'm trying to get an album, an EP, not an album, just like 3 or 4 songs, as like a proof of concept, like get the process down, whatever, by the end of the month. So I'm kind of breakneck trying to which of the 50 fucking songs I've written, which one am I like bringing to the finish line? Which ones, I guess. So I just sent one out for mastering, which I've never done before.
Oh,
so
okay.
Yeah, just want to see what that's like. See if it sounds different than what I did.
That's a good point. Like,
hope it will.
Not ever doing it before, wanting to at least see what that comes back like, so you can get an idea of the process.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah, there was some advice. It was like, you spent 10, 15 hours with your song, or more, really. Like, if you then also master it, you are going to continue to tinker and just like let someone else do it. And I'm like, I don't know, that's kind of expensive, but I'm gonna try it and see what it's like. So
yeah. No, it's worth doing. I mean, what did my uncle say whenever he was making music, or he did mastering and stuff for knows how long before he became a teacher for different bands, and he always said he would spend, like, for him it was like 5 to 8 hours per 3 seconds of song.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Ridiculous amount of time mastering different sections of each song and stuff, and like that's just what he did. He loved doing it, but he's like, yeah, it takes a long time to get it to that like a certain quality bar.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not breaking the world with my songs. I want to have something decent and quality, but I'm not. I don't know. I have a friend who I'm collaborating with, and I think he very much wants to do that, and that's great for his stuff. But I'm not really. That's not my goal. My goal is to get stuff out and keep going.
Yeah.
So I could perfect things for a year and do nothing, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah. No. There's. It's very nice to complete thoughts and move on to new things.
Yes, exactly. I'm not writing a fucking masterpiece here.
Oh.
But yeah, I'm hoping to get back to Mass Effect by the time we talk next week.
Nice.
I'm missing my Shepard. I'm like in the end game. I'm moving toward the end of that game. I've got probably 6, 7, 8 hours left. So
I should play more. 3. I always get bogged down in 3. There's just a narrative disconnect there that bugs me. Like,
yeah,
that constant like everything is ending and dying. Now go do all these things. It's like
do some side quests.
I
talk to people.
Hate that the conceit in movies and in games. Anything. It's like, if you're gonna put this pressure on me, put the actual pressure from gameplay too. So I do think 3 would be better if it was like, if the pressure was something that they wanted, you just can't do everything on a single playthrough. Like,
exactly. And that lends itself to multiple playthroughs.
Yeah. And I mean, they briefly touched on that in 2, which is the thing that boggles my mind why they wouldn't go a little bit farther in 3 with it. Where if you spend after, spoilers for Mass Effect 2, but after the crew is kidnapped by the collectors, if you dilly-dally and do extra side quests before going to save them, they will die. Like,
I like that. That's a good consequence for your choice.
Will die. Kelly Chambers will die. A few others will die, and it's just like they're gone. Like, because you decided you were going to go do these side quests before rescuing them.
Right, my friends got kidnapped. I'm going to go chill. I'm going to go vacation on some planet and mine for resources.
So, yeah, I don't know why in 3 they didn't kind of bring some of that back a little bit, of being like, yeah, like, the universe is getting screwed up, so you don't really have time to go do all this. But
yeah,
pick and choose. Go. You can't recruit everybody. Sorry. Like, you recruit, I don't know, at that point, you recruit, like, who do you get in 3 at the beginning? Garrus you can go get again.
Jacob?
No, Jacob's not in there. Tally's there. I'm just trying to think. Tally was not on the ship. You have to kind of go get her again in the fleet. So there's just these things where I'm like, there'd be something to it if there was consequences of being like, hey, if I'm going to collect my entire crew, bad shit's going to happen. Like, because I am taking this time to get these people together.
Right.
So, I don't know. But it does bog down to me, kind of takes a bit of the impetus of playing 3. Like, I just get to a point where I'm just like, okay, I'm just doing the side stuff because I can, and you're supposed to, because you need to do the side stuff so that you can finish the game, basically, with the warfare points or whatever. War points.
Right. The Galactus readiness or whatever.
Readiness thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. This feels like it's just a couple misfires in 3, unfortunately. But I do need to get back to it and just continue playing through it. But I'm in Final Fantasy land right now, so.
Well, that's a good place to be.
Yeah.
Speaking of good places to be, episode 300 is a great place to be. Amazing. Thank you for being with me on this journey, Anthony. This has been incredible.
Thank you for inviting me all those years ago. Mostly because I assumed you were getting annoyed about me texting you, going like, hey, you talked about this thing. Like, let me tell you about it more.
No, I don't remember being annoyed at all. I remember the text. I don't remember being annoyed by it.
Okay.
I was like, oh, maybe you should just come on and do this regularly. Yeah. It's been nice, because then, I mean, I don't think we would have talked weekly otherwise. I mean, we would definitely be in contact and shit, but like, would we talk, like, for example, a friend who's probably listening to the podcast now, I texted him the other night and said, hey, how's it going? And he's like, call me. Oh, fuck. Something's wrong with Ted. And I call him. He's like, hey, what's going on? It's like, is everything okay? He's like, yeah, I'm tired of texting. I want to talk to people. Like, just you connect more. I was like, okay, Okay, I thought someone was dying. Because you just text now, right?
Yeah, I know.
So, I mean, we would text all the time, you and I,
Yeah.
but it's nice to talk
Yes.
every week.
It's been nice, and it's been nice because I think it's, like, I just think over the years of being like, we did our Breath of the Wild initial play together. I came down there. You've come up here a couple times. We did E3. You got to come up for that.
Oh my god, that was so fun.
Yeah, it was a great time just to...
Emerald City Comic Con?
Yep. So it's been good. It's been a good... And I think this podcast has helped keep that going.
Yeah, I agree. Speaking of keeping things going, we're going to keep gaming going. Got one more code for you. This is for the Surge 2, and it is B06N8J. I think that's an 8. Yeah, 8DC7R. I think that's an I2FP. Very confident code giving here. My computer's askew, and I don't have my glasses, so I'm like, I think that's a something. So if you're able to redeem that, enjoy. And we'll be back next week with episode 301, where we hopefully will have something happier to talk about.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll talk about EA Play. Who knows?
We should talk about EA Play. There's not a lot in EA Play, I'll say, but there's one thing that is freaking awesome.
Yeah, we'll cover that next week, folks. Thanks for listening. Please tell a friend. Rate us on your podcast service of choice. If you've been here since the beginning, and hit us up on Twitter. Let us know. We're glad to have you here, and we'll see you for 301 and another 300 episodes.
Sounds good.
I just locked you in for 5 years, Anthony.
Okay. I'm not going anywhere.
All right, sounds good.
All right.
All right, folks. See you later.
Later.